Day after the Supreme Court rejected a plea for more transparency in the allocation of cases in the top court. Now a letter to the Chief Justice by the senior Supreme Court Judge Justice Kurian Joseph has been revealed, and he writes to Chief Justice Dipak Misra saying that the very life and existence of the Supreme Court is under threat and history will not pardon us if the court doesn't respond to the government's unprecedented act of sitting on the collegium's recommendation to elevate a judge and a senior advocate to the top court. This letter was written on the 9th of April to the Chief Justice and circulated among all the judges of the Supreme Court. The collegium's decision was taken in February to recommend the names of Senior Advocate Indu Malhotra and Justice K.M. Joseph, the Chief Justice of the Uttarakhand High Court, for appointment as judges of the Supreme Court. However, so far, the government not accepting this recommendation, and now Justice Kurian Joseph, they're writing to the Chief Justice to ask the centre to take that decision. One of the senior judges has also spoken on these constant controversies now that have dogged the Supreme Court, saying that it's a very sad situation. We are sick of it. Nobody is worried about what is going on in the top court. Jurists also not worried about the happenings in the Supreme Court. So once again, the Supreme Court in the news with more controversy now with Justice Kurian Joseph. They're writing to the Chief Justice. Well, Vaidya joins us on the phone line for more. So, Vaidya, the collegium, they're taking the decision in February to elevate an advocate as well as a judge to the Supreme Court. But so far, the centre really sitting on that proposal, and now Justice Kurian, they're writing to the Chief Justice asking him to take action or take this matter up with the centre.
Yes, the Supreme Court collegium consisting of 5 top judges, including Justice Kurian Joseph and the Chief Justice, along with others, on 10th of January, recommended the names of Justice K.M. Joseph, who is presently Chief Justice of Uttarakhand High Court, and senior lawyer Indu Malhotra. 3 months have passed, nothing has happened. The government is sitting over the file. So, perturbed with it, Justice Kurian Joseph, who is part of the collegium recommending these 2 names, has written to the Chief Justice and all the other 22 judges of the Supreme Court, expressing concern, saying that it's a time to act. Otherwise, history will not forgive us. The image of the Supreme Court has taken a beating, and it's a time to act. So he basically says that now the collegium, normally what happens is when a recommendation is sent to the government normally approves it or sends back with some sort of reservations or queries. But here in this case, nothing has been sent. It's just put in a cold storage. But we know that government had earlier informed, saying that the Kurian Justice K.M. Joseph is a junior, why the seniors to him have been overlooked. But that was not communicated to the collegium in writing. So disturbed over that, Mr. Kurian Joseph has written this letter, and in fact, one of the judges in the Supreme Court also told NDTV, whatever happening here, it's not good. I'm sick of it. That's the word he used. And he says the top jurists who are practicing in the Supreme Court are just keeping quiet. None is bothered what's happening. So Kurian Joseph says that if the file is not sent back with the government decision, either accepting or rejecting, the next course is 7 top judges should convene and sit in the courtroom and decide and ask the government to decide it. So that's a judicial order which they did in Justice Karnan's case. So anyway, we'll have to see what Chief Justice decides, whether he accepts Mr. Kurian Joseph's request or what he decides to act.
And whether this is unprecedented, the fact that the government has just been sitting on the recommendations of the collegium for the last 3 months?
Really, also some issues it has happened. It may not be the first time, but yes, the government is keeping quiet. So now the judges are retiring one by one. The Supreme Court strength is also being depleted. So if judges are not appointed, then there will be a big problem for the country's top institution.